Marcus earns $128,000 a year as a product engineer in San Jose, 7 years into his career. Stable job, reputable company, strong resume. From the outside, it looks like he's winning. But his one-bedroom apartment costs $3,600 a month. It's cramped, outdated, thin walls, and the parking situation is a weekly headache. That's over $43,000 a year just to have a place to sleep. After federal taxes, California taxes, and payroll deductions, Marcus takes home roughly $87,000. Half of that disappears into rent before groceries, gas, insurance, subscriptions, and the everyday cost of existing in the Bay Area. At the end of most months, he manages to save about $300, sometimes $500, sometimes nothing. On a 6-figure salary. At 32 years old, Marcus has around $27,000 saved for retirement and drives a used Corolla. That's his entire financial cushion. And lately, he started wondering if he's running on a treadmill that only speeds up. Every raise just seems to get absorbed by higher rent, higher prices, higher expectations. Now compare that to his former classmate, Jordan. Jordan took a remote analytics job and moved to Columbus, Ohio. He earns $96,000 a year, over $30,000 less than Marcus. But his 2-bedroom apartment costs $1,350 a month. He pays lower state taxes. Groceries are cheaper. Gas is cheaper. Everything is cheaper. Jordan saves about $2,000 a month. He's built over $140,000 in investments and just bought his first home. Marcus earns more. Jordan is building wealth. That's not bad luck. That's not poor discipline. That's geography. This is the geography trap, one of the most invisible and powerful wealth destroyers in modern personal finance. A dollar does not have the same power everywhere. $100,000 in Manhattan is not the same life as $100,000 in rural Tennessee. Not even close. In some cases, the real difference in purchasing power is 2x, 3x, even 4x. According to cost of living data, cities like San Francisco and New York are roughly 75–85% more expensive than the national average. Meanwhile, cities like Indianapolis, Tulsa, Kansas City, and Memphis are 10–20% below average. What does that mean in real terms? If you earn $100,000 after tax, in San Francisco, that income feels more like $55,000 elsewhere. In a cheaper city, that same income might function like $125,000. Same salary, same skills, completely different financial future. Now let's talk about compounding. Marcus saves about $400 a month. Jordan saves about $2,000 a month. Both invest in simple index funds, earning 8% annually. After 20 years, Marcus ends up with roughly $250,000. Jordan ends up with over $1,100,000. That's nearly a $900,000 difference, created almost entirely by location. Not intelligence, not hustle, not better stock picks, just where they lived. And what makes this even more dangerous is that the most expensive cities are also the most seductive. They're where the prestige is, the opportunity, the ambition, the density of talent. For certain careers, especially early on, that can be valuable. But here's the shift nobody talks about. The career advantage of expensive cities has been collapsing for years, and remote work accelerated it dramatically. A Stanford study found that nearly 30% of paid workdays in the US are now remote. Job postings offering remote options have exploded since 2020. Companies that once required office presence, Google, Meta, Salesforce, major consulting firms, financial firms, now operate with distributed teams by default. The old assumption was simple. You had to live near the job. That's no longer universally true. Which means if your job can be done remotely, and you're still paying premium city costs, You're effectively paying a hidden tax for benefits that may no longer exist. Now, this gets even more powerful when you look globally. There are remote workers earning US salaries while living in countries where the cost of living is dramatically lower. In Lisbon, a comfortable lifestyle might cost $1,400 a month. Mexico City, around $900. Medellin, around $750. Chiang Mai, around $600. Da Nang, around $500. Take someone earning $85,000 remotely. After taxes, maybe they take home $5,300 per month. In a major US city, they might save nothing. Abroad, they might save $4,000 plus per month. At that pace, financial independence becomes a 10-year goal instead of a 30-year grind. Not through crypto. Not through risky startups. Not through hustle culture. Just through math and location. This isn't hypothetical. Millions of normal professionals, designers, marketers, developers, writers, project managers, accountants, are already doing this. Of course, life isn't just a spreadsheet. Family matters. Friendships matter. Community matters. Loving where you live matters. If staying in an expensive city is genuinely worth it to you emotionally, socially, or culturally, that's valid. But here's the real question. Have you ever consciously calculated the cost of staying? If your city is costing you $35,000.50 per year in lost wealth, then choosing to stay means you are effectively saying, this lifestyle is worth $40,000 a year to me. Maybe it is. But most people never make that choice consciously. They just drift into it. They normalize spending half their income on rent. They assume this is just how life works. They never realize they're paying a premium they never actively agreed to. So here's a smarter framework. First, calculate the true cost of your location. Rent difference. Tax difference. Savings rate difference. Second, question whether your job is truly location dependent. Many people never even attempt to negotiate remote work. Third, project your future. Run the numbers for 10-20 years. The gap is often shocking. Fourth, recognize the difference between temporary and permanent. Spending 2 years in an expensive city to build experience can be strategic. Spending 15 years there out of inertia is financially devastating. Your location is not your identity. It's a variable in your financial equation, and one of the most powerful variables you can control. Income grows slowly. Investment returns are uncertain. Expenses can only be cut so far. But geography can instantly multiply your effective wealth. 2 people with equal talent, equal discipline, equal ambition. One becomes wealthy. One struggles. The difference is not effort. It's location. Your zip code is not fate. It's a choice. And every year you avoid making that choice consciously, you're paying a price you never negotiated. I'm not telling you to move. I'm telling you to calculate what staying is costing you, and then decide if it's worth it. If this changed how you see your city, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.